talk about balancing. Besides being used to describe which of the 7 deadly sins the level encompasses, balancing is a word most traditionally used in the Geometry Dash community to refer to distribution of difficulty throughout the entire level. With this being, a part of the game that players have full creative control over, there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of different variations of balancing, and there's also a lot of debates over which type is the best or not. Easy levels generally are pretty well balanced like the entire way through, but extreme demons have a lot of range when it comes to how their balancing can be. So, as I already said, because it's something that people have creative control over, it's something that's done very differently depending on from level to level, and it's also something that we as a community seem to just have constant arguments over what type of balancing is better than this or that or blah 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 blah. There's 3 major types of balancing. First half heavy balancing, which is where most of the difficulty lies in the first 50% of a level. Second half heavy balancing, which is the same thing except this time encompassing the last 50%. And a third type that I made up that I like to call heart rate monitor, which is where the difficulty is mostly the same the entire way through, but there's just these random stupid choke points or really easy spots in levels that just completely ruin any chance of a good playing experience. Again, I made that last one up. In any case, what are my thoughts about which of the 2 main balancing types is better? First half or second half? Well, just look at my top 5. Yeah, if you've ever watched my streams or my videos, you would probably know that I have a substantial favoring towards first half heavy levels, and I have 2 main reasons. Number 1, I am pretty unlucky with this game. Like, I know it doesn't seem like that, considering all the massive flukes that I got when I was first starting my Extreme Demon career, but before that, when I was a mobile player, I tended to get really, really unlucky with levels, which I know that's been used as a scapegoat time and time again, but in some cases, my device, my iPad, would just decide to kill me for absolutely no reason when I was in, like, the 70s or 80s, because lag. So in that case, it actually was unlucky and completely out of my control. Secondly, nerves. Obviously, if you get to the end of a hard level, you're gonna have nerves. Like, that's just not even a question. But first half heavy levels and second half heavy levels have a completely different type of nerves that they introduce within you. First half heavy levels, whenever you get far, there's always the nerves of, oh, I could actually, like, beat at this attempt if I just control my nerves really well. Second half heavy levels, you might as well be playing a lottery at that point, dude. Like, it's completely ridiculous. It's the wrong kind of nerve. Like, it's a lot of nerves, which I do like sometimes, but it's the wrong kind of nerves, if that makes any sense. To help give you guys a better understanding of where I'm coming from when I give my opinions, I have prepared a list of 8 total levels, 2 from the following categories. First half heavy levels I like, first half that I dislike, second half I like, and second half that I dislike. I'm going to be looking at these on my phone because I forgot to write a script for this part, and I can't be bothered to do it right now. I'm just going to trust that whatever comes out of my mouth will be okay to put in the video, so yeah. Also, before I forget, all footage is from either myself or technical. Okay? Okay, let's start. So, starting off with first half heavy levels that I like. I mean, we all knew where this is going, right? Absolutely. The first level on that list, without question, is Black Blizzard, which is still, to this day, my favorite extreme in the entire game, not just of the ones that I've beaten. This level is it's textbook caramel balancing. The first 25% is much, much harder than pretty much anything in the rest of the level, and the next 15% is the second hardest part. But I'm okay with this because the level has such an amazing, incredible atmosphere that makes any attempt that do get past those parts 10 times more nerve-wracking. But in this case, it's a good thing. Like, the nerves are a good thing. I think the top 2 most nervous I've ever been in my life was, first of all, confessing feelings for someone, which I would rather not get into that right now. But the second is when I was in the last cave of Black Blizzard. Keep in mind, that was on my second duel attempt. I had died at 65 on my first, so I was fluking the entire level from 65, and I was so nervous, but I was also more locked in than I've ever been playing this game, and it was just an absolutely unreal, indescribable feeling, and especially when I passed the cave part, just to see myself collide with the end wall was just amazing. It was an amazing feeling. For the other choice for first half heavy levels that I like, we have Stalemate Redux. Now, I get it, this level's not the most popular level ever, but one, all of the people that don't like it, first of all, they're wrong. And second, I guess I understand why, but I completely disagree. This level is one of if not the greatest examples of setting up an atmosphere that I've, like, basically ever seen in a GD level. Just the way that it builds intensity with the speed changes, game mode changes, and difficulty, it all just makes an unbelievable experience that's pretty much only being matched by what I'm doing right now. But yeah, Stalemate Redux, absolutely incredible level. I do want to give an honorable mention to Lumina, which is the level that I'm currently going for right now. Basically, it takes the balancing of Black Blizzard and cranks it up tenfold. The only reason that they didn't put that on this list is because I haven't beaten it yet, and I want to restrict myself to only having one level on the entire video that I did not beat. So that's the only reason I didn't put Lumina on here, but it's absolutely an example because it's genuinely one of my favorite levels in the entire game. Alright, now for some first half heavy levels that I dislike. So first off, we all know where this is going. Bloodbath has been my least favorite extreme that I've beaten ever since I beat it. Like, even after all the... even after all of the other extremes I've done, Bloodbath is one of, if not the worst levels I've ever beaten. Definitely the worst extreme I've ever beaten. And the reason for that is because this level has a combination of first half heavy and heart monitor balancing, where the difficulty is technically condensed in the first half, but the way it's done so, instead of being like spread across the entire first half, is done entirely through choke points. Like, for example, Evasion, Michigan, Crack, whatever the part is, I think it's Vermilion? Yeah, Vermilion. Those are all just some of the worst choke points I've ever dealt with, and it is just so infuriating. For the other level, we have Falcon 16. This level has a lot of the same problems as Bloodbath, but just to a slightly lesser extent. Like, the choke points are nearly as bearable. There's more in the second half, don't get me wrong, but it's still definitely first half heavy. And also top 24, that part is just so unoptimized. I could not stand it, unfortunately. But that being said, Falcon 16, still an absolutely phenomenal level. Just, I didn't like the gameplay. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about second half heavy levels that I actually like. And the first of those two levels is High. Yes, I know I'm cheating by putting an insane name in here, but I've only beaten one extreme that I can think of that has second half heavy balancing, so here you go, High. So, the balancing is atrocious. Like, I don't think there is anything more needs to be said. Like, it's just atrocious. But unlike a lot of second half heavy levels, it feels intentional. Like, it didn't feel like Karma was genuinely trying to create a well-balanced level and just ended up with this instead. No, he was making it bad. He was making it to be terrible, just to be terrible, which is honestly, other than being funny, it's honestly kind of respectable. Also, I got really, really lucky with the second half. I only died there 3 times in total. So, yeah, definitely biased, but I like High. Yeah, I said it. What are you gonna do about it, huh? Second level, which is a little bit more popular, is Ethereal Artifice. Now, I know this is where I have to give a disclaimer. Balancing, in this case, is based on my opinions. I know that a lot of people say the first half is harder than the second half, but for me it was the opposite way, mostly because the green part was just a lot more inconsistent than the red part. But that being said, I still really like this level. It's one of my favorite extremes, genuinely, that I've beaten. It does a lot of what Black Blizzard and Stalemate Redux do well in terms of intensity, just a little bit worse, since it's, you know, second half heavy. So finally, let's talk about second half heavy levels that I dislike. And the first one is Blade of Justice. Now, I know this level's first half heavy, I get it, but for me personally, the last 25% was one of, if not the single hardest segment in any extreme I'd ever played at that point, and it's one of the worst. Like, everything about this segment feels like it was genuinely, it was trying to be good, and it ended up terrible, so, but like, basically the exact opposite of High. But I just had such a terrible time with the last 25%. I'm so lucky that I only died there once, because I was easily set up to die there, like, 20 or 30 times. Like, it was just terrible. But that's like the level's only issue. Like, I know that it might not seem like this, but I like Blade of Justice. Like, it's a great level, it looks phenomenal, intensity's really good, and hey, it's not Necromancer. Yeah, we knew this was coming, didn't we? This is the only level on this entire list that I have not beaten yet. And looking at it, there is a very specific reason. The balancing may possibly be the worst out of any level that I have ever played. It is genuinely so atrocious. The first half is basically just an auto-scroller with choke points. That's it. First half is an auto-scroller with choke points. It's like, maybe, like, 30 out of 100 enjoyment. If it was just that, like, the level would still be bad, but it wouldn't be terrible. But oh my god, it gets so much worse. Mainly the UFOs and whatever parts at the end. Zimnuar. The Platinus part, Z Hypers, I think that's what the name is anyway, and Zimniar. Those are 3 back-to-back of the worst parts that I have ever played in this entire game, and having to sit through them for like an hour, 2 hours straight was just a nightmare. There's a reason Necromancer is the only level that I've ever gone for on PC that I've dropped. It is one of the worst levels I have ever played! Sorry about that, I just had to get that out of my system. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end this video. I hope you like these kind of like short little fun discussion videos, except for the part where I was yelling at the Necromancer at the end, because these are a lot of fun to make, so I'm probably gonna do more of these in the future, probably with an actual script, because I was just making stuff up pretty much the entire time this video, but hey, it worked out. So yeah, other than that, this is the final video that I'm going to upload before I go to college for the first time, and it's honestly wild that I've been doing this for such a long time. Like, I started this channel in 2nd grade, and even throughout 10 years, throughout 400 plus videos, the fact that I have had an audience for my stuff at all is just absolutely unbelievable, and something that I am so grateful for, because this channel has actually helped quite a bit with, you know, my self-confidence and my self-drive and all of that stuff. I would not be a lot of who I am today. I am because of this channel, and I'm really grateful that y'all have chosen to stick around. So I think that's everything. If you like the video, I guess, and subscribe, and I'll catch the next one when I'm in college. Bye!